And that should be live, I believe. Uh,
Hello and welcome everyone to Ultimate Esports Division 2 Grand Finals. So, today we have MonkeSports Lost Stache versus PandaCity Vipers duking it out for all the marbles. I'm Deadly Ghost and I'm joined here by Sir Jonjo. And Sir Jonjo, we're geared up to have a very interesting best of 5 here. But first of all, how are you doing?
I am doing wonderful, my friend. Yeah, you're definitely right. It is going to be a very interesting best of five here. Especially just having a look through the differences in terms of rank and skill level. Who knows where things could end up? But I'm quite interested to see how this goes. Is there anything particularly you'd be looking to? Any matchups you've looked at today?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see this whole squad from Panda City Vipers actually go up against the Monkey Sports Lost
Hmm.
Dash team because, Cliff, aka Daddy Cliff, having to come in last second to be a sub for a jungle, and a couple of people not in their main roles as well on the Monkey Sports squad could be a little bit difficult for Monkey Sports. And Panda City Vipers do have that built-in synergy from playing in VL as well as Ultimate Esports. So this means that they probably have a little bit more synergy. However, uh, on the other side, well, the whole squad can basically try and very likely succeed in hands diffing everyone on this Vipers roster. So maybe we're going to see a little bit more cohesion from Vipers, but I full on expect the micro to be in Monkey Sports hands.
You're definitely right. Yeah, I think I'd probably hazard a guess towards Monkey Sports here, but having not, I know quite a lot of the players from the Monkey Sports lineup, but I don't from this PVC lineup. So I'm actually really interested to see how where they go with stuff, as Jax is taken off the table for starters.
Yeah, Jack's one of Harold's bread and butter champions. Something that he's very comfortable picking. I'm not gonna be surprised that they you know take it out. Morgana getting taken off from Beth. This is something that we are laughing quite a bit because Beth used to be a Morgana one trick. Now has broadened her horizons a little bit more,
Hmm.
and it's very interesting to see. On the other side, we have Shen and Echo getting banned out. So the top side getting perfectly, getting banned out quite a bit, and now we have two AD carries getting banned out. Uh, we're going to see the Kaisa locked in first.
Yeah, I'm a little interested by that actually. It signifies they're probably going to look to dive here on that backside. Um, But in terms of bans, I am sad to see Shen banned because he looks like he's quite good at the moment on this coming patch. I've seen a bit of him in pro play recently, but yeah, be interesting to see what they respond with. They're going to go for the Varus, very strong laner here actually. Ghost, I'd say. You where
Yeah.
do you take? You're an AD carry main, aren't you?
No, I'm a jungle main
Oh
actually.
yeah,
So
I couldn't remember.
So yeah. I'm gonna be looking very closely
You're going to be
at
analysing
Cliff
Cliff.
here. Yes, of course I'm gonna be analyzing Cliff.
Ah, no.
Who's gonna go for the J4? This is something very standard, something that Cliff loves to play in the jungle, and I'm not surprised by it. Uh, Varus into Kaisa means that Kaisa is going to have a very difficult time in the early game. However, if they get to 2, 3 items and it's the on hit builds, then this Kaisa should have a very, very easy time. Pantheon is a flex here because uh, both Wraith Killer and Wizard of Oz play it. So we could see some interesting shenanigans happening here, as we do see the Oriana getting blind picked here. Oriana did get buffed on this patch, but I don't know if it's blindable over here.
I think it's a little bit. Could it be a little bit of a takeaway as well? They're going to match with an Ari, which I think it's mage on mage sort of violence here in the mid lane by the look of it. Yeah, still some Mel, but it's still mage on mage. I am quite interested to see where that Pantheon's going. We're probably highlighting it as a support pick, maybe, or could it be going jungle? Do you reckon?
I'm I'm thinking jungle. The most I'm seeing Pantheon, at least in recent times, is in the jungle, which kind of makes sense. Very fast, clear,
Mm-hmm.
uh, has good sustainability, good ganks as well, especially after you get the empowered D off with the resistances. So uh, I'm not surprised if that's going to be a uh, jungle
In jungle
Pantheon.
pants, yeah.
Though, yeah.
See, I think we've got a pretty heavy bias on the top side of the map. Like I said, being a top laner or a
Mm-hmm.
jungler, so those are the sort of picks I'm now quite interested in. I'm a little bit interested
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what they're going to play in support for MonkeSports down here, because I'm assuming that Mel's going into the Oriana mid. But what, where do you think they'll go with the top side? Do you reckon we're looking at another tank for Harold, or is it going to be a bit more of a bruiser sort of style that he'll go with?
Yeah, I'm thinking we're getting counter pick left for Harold, even though he has some good picks uh still
Mm-hmm.
up in the Jace and the Gangplank. So
Yeah, it gives him a lot of room
he
here.
yeah, they have a lot of options open. And we're seeing a lot of support bans coming in here. So the support pool is really, taking a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, could this be an elite support for Luna? See, something that's more standard would be to take Nautilus, sort of take it away from the Kaisa, and
Yeah.
also gives you a very good strong lane. But
Yeah, they've
maybe
got.
maybe we get to see some cooking.
Nah,
Ooh,
it's gonna be the Sarah Queen, in she comes to sing a song. But yeah, I quite like that lane setup. It is gonna mean that I can understand the Braum in a lot of ways, but again, this Kaiser, you want to be going aggressive with her, and Braum doesn't really signify we're going to dive onto your backline. I'd have actually preferred to see something like, I think Maokai's still open and quite good. I don't know how great it is into
mhm.
Seraphine Varus as a lane, but in terms of working with Kaiser, it works quite well, which is probably what I'd have
Yeah,
preferred to see. But they've gone for the Braum here.
it's not a bad pick,
Hmm.
for sure, especially because you want to block a lot of the skill shots that are gonna be coming your way in the form of the Mel, the Seraphine, the Varus. So I
Yeah,
don't hate the pick here, sort of like a disengage, and you already have a lot of engage with Scion and Pantheon, so Braum can always follow it up with the Glacial Fissure, and yeah, Scion blind pick. Harold gets counter pick here. Will he go for the Ambessa or will he go for something a little bit more standard like the Jace?
uh, in the Scion, I'm not too sure where you go. He's going to go Renekton. It's a decent bruiser pick, of course. I think they could have taken anything on this top side and it should have been fine. Like,
Mm.
there's quite a lot of things they could have taken AP or AD. I don't think a tank's bad here either. Like a big engaged tank could have worked into Scion. But I like Renekton. If you wanna sort of have that brawling sort of lane like Harold likes to have, I think Renekton's not a bad pick for him here. In
No,
in terms of
no.
matchups though, all over Ghost. Now that we've got the whole draft, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking that we have a lot of engage for the side of Vipers. A lot of dive potential with the Kai'Sa, with the Pantheon, and potentially Sign Ultimate if you're going in. And you also have the Oriana Shockwave to help you out. But unless the Braum Unbreakable blocks a major Seraphine ultimate, or the Seraphine gets burst out, you have a fair amount of disengage here with the Varus and Seraphine ults, and you can always use J4 for the flag and drag engage or disengage depending on what you need. So a little bit more versatility on the side of MonkeSports, and Vipers are looking to basically hammer down, especially after they get a couple of levels here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, I do quite like some of the identity that the Panda City Vipers have here. Well, we said especially with the Braum. I think the Braum does quite well here, especially in the Seraphine and the Jarvan. So I can kind of see where they're going with this sort of draft. But I think I'd have preferred to see a little bit more dive than just the Pantheon. It all looks. I think there needed to be something else. But that's the way I see it in terms of that. But in terms of the Braum working quite well, like I said on that bot side, they've done well there. In terms of MonkeSports, I quite like they've got a lot of CC. There's a big if you can get a big J4 ult, the Cataclysm comes down, you can just slap the Seraphine ult right on top of it all, and you can get multi 5-man team fights happening there. So there's a lot of like synergy with their comp, I'd say.
Yeah, and looking at it here, J4 Seraphine and Mel,
Yeah,
nothing, not something that we've usually seen quite a bit, but it's sort of works in a similar way that J4 Ori tends to work. You go in with the J4 with with the flag and dragon, then the ultimate, and then you bring in the Ori on a shockwave. So yeah, like you said, you're looking for the J4 Cataclysm and then follow up with big ultimates and big abilities,
yeah.
and I like that quite a bit from MonkeSports.
It's simple, and that I think that is the benefit of having something like that. It's going to be Cliff. Cliff is playing that J4. I'd be kind of interested to see how he matches into Pantheon, because I'm not overly too sure what happens with the 1v1 sort of matchup. But yeah, it's a weird pick for him, I think. But I'm glad to see him play it. In all honesty.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Ooh, Dragon Slayer J4, I like that one. Uh,
It's an old one, isn't it? That skin.
yeah, it is, but it's a very interesting one. Okay, so what was it? 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, I can pause at 10.
Yeah, we paused the game at 10 seconds, and it was
Give me a moment.
directed. Yeah, and it was directed camera, right?
Yeah. You want a 3, 2, 1 it?
Yep. Go ahead.
3, 2, 1. On pause.
Let's get ready to rumble
Yeah.
or something.
Well, the only issue I have now is I've got to sort out these stupid names. Yeah, give me a
Yeah.
moment. This annoys me. Come on. Think that's it? There we are. That sorted it. And if I can hide, can hide the not that one. Which one is it? Time controls. There we are.
Yeah, looks like both teams are headed, or both teams are headed for standard 5 point starts.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah.
Everyone's pretty
And we
chilling.
see the classic dance off in the mid lane. Beth is going to break it, so the moral victory goes to PandaCity Vipers. That's something I ever thought I'd be saying.
Yeah, they've
Uh,
somehow they do have somehow have that for them going now. Where do these where's the early action gonna happen then, Ghost? What lanes should we be looking at? Where is Cliff and the Wizard of Oz on the Pantheon going to be looking?
well, we're looking at blue side starts for both of these junglers. So opposite sides starts means that this pathing in the especially from Wizard of Oz is going to be towards this bot lane, but I don't really think that it's going to be, that valuable for Wizard of Oz, especially because this double ranged bot lane, especially in the early game, can just push out and bounce waves very very effectively, and then just not worry about it, and try and lane safely. I like that Cliff is pathing towards this Renekton because it can be a very volatile lane, and you can definitely bully this Scion in the early game, especially because he doesn't have a lot of tank items.
Yeah, I do quite like the fact that Cliff is going upwards as Beth lands the Roots. Wraithkiller is down on the Oriana. A good first blood there for the Mel.
Yeah, Beth just said I'm going to beat you with everything I got, and also 2025 champion versus 2012 champion.
Yeah, Beth traded very aggressively there, which is something I'm actually liking to see quite a lot on this top side as well. Harold looking for those aggressive trades on the Scion. And this is exactly why you need to be looking towards this top side for Cliff, because Harold is going to go in and fight, and I can respect it.
I mean, the guy just loves to fight. And no shame, nothing
Looks like he's
crazy in
going
that.
for it. Scion flashing away.
Yeah,
Brad gets out of there.
yeah. Bradman manages to use the flash in the nick of time. Little bit of a misplay from Harold. Didn't have the rage for the empowered Q. If he had the rage, one auto off, he would have probably gotten the kill. But still has a 10 CS lead in the top lane. Bradman was forced to use his TP just now, so this Renekton is a very happy camper.
Yeah, he definitely is. Harold also farming quite well at the moment. That's pretty much just a little less than the most CS in the game, which is going to Tiga right now. But yeah, as we see, Cliff has just taken topside Scuttle as well. So we'll be looking to reset as well.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz not going for the last. Oh, that's going to be a
nice route again. Wraithkiller having a flash away. Beth is flashing in for the extra auto. She does get it as well. Tanks 2 tower shots, but does survive. That's Oriana down once more.
I mean, this mid lane matchup is going really, really well for the side of MonkeSports here. Raid Killer getting a little bit of cyberbullied here. You know, the
It's
J the
definitely
J
looking a bit
for
rough.
yeah, the J for spending some time here. The Mel being a naturally very oppressive champion. Uh, and yeah, this goes back to what I said in Champ Select. You can't really blind pick Oriana because there are a couple of picks that can really bully her out. And Harold has gone to proxying.
Yeah, that'll set him up for a nice recall, quick recall tempo, and he should be alright to just chill and take that one. It does look like when the grubs spawn now is. Oh, shoot, 1 sec.
It's 8 minutes.
Objective
8 minutes here.
timers, there we are. Can put them on. Yeah, so we're looking at another couple of minutes on that. But First Strike is up. I was told earlier that First Strike actually spawns a little bit earlier now, I think.
First drink is the same at 5 minutes.
Just because they've moved the grubs, it's
Yeah,
different. They've just moved the difference.
grub
Yeah.
move. Yeah, exactly. So now, if you're a jungler that has a lot of early game presence, you
should
can
be looking for that
definitely
Drake.
yeah. You can technically go for both Drake and Grubbies if you have a good enough tempo for it. So you know, looking at Cliff over here, who already has a 3 camp lead and an assist under his belt, so he can definitely have a decent impact. Who's going to try and stop Bradman from safely farming here, and is going to push in the wave here.
Yeah, Brad isn't happy about this and will fight to the death by the look of it. Cliff does tank a tower shot. Renekton does have the Dominus available. Is Harold going to look for it? Doesn't look like he will. He will tank tower shot. Cliff has just flashed accidentally as well. Good stuff by the jungler there. Cliff, you idiot.
Clifford is going to be getting a stern talking to from me. However, it's a they were getting ready for a dive. However, Wizard of Oz is here to thwart any dive potential. Even though if Harold didn't take that extra turret shot, they probably would have been able to dive anyway. But Jonjo, there's a far more pressing matter here,
Yes.
and that is that MonkeSports have a 2,000 gold lead, and we're just 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's looking at some of the kills. They're farming above in mid and top right now. Cliff is also a camp ahead. So, it's looking pretty good for him as Harold is now invading the Wizard of Oz. They are just looking at claps on him here. The Pantheon will fall. Beth, oh no, it is Cliff that picks that one up with the EQ. So, yeah, it's not looking good for anyone on the side of PVC right now.
Nope, no PandaCity Vipers are getting put down in the dumpster here. Cliff counter jungling Wizard of Oz quite a bit. This is, something that you would expect, especially if you have one of your lanes be this far ahead, like this mid lane where Beth has just well, I don't want to say bullied Raid Killer because it sounds kind of mean, but that has been happening. As Ben here taking quite a lot of damage
Yeah, there's
himself.
heavy trading on this bot side, man. This poke lane from Luna and Scanner is not something to, close your eyes for. It's a real annoyance down here as the root comes through. There's the Varasol, Chains of Corruption, Dulan. Scanner picks that one up. Luna does flash away, did go for the encore, but that is the power of the Braum here, blocking that one up. She will just about escape this situation, as again, we back up to top side with Harold just hitting Scion.
I mean, just a couple of kills one kill getting caught up here. If Ben didn't sacrifice his life for Tiga there, Tiga would have also been dead as well. And this just means that MonkeSports have increased their lead. It's now 3.5k. Ooh, Tiga almost getting sniped there.
Tiga's playing with fire here, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
As
there's an
Pantheon comes
Wizard
down, Wizard of Oz! Magicking himself on the bot side of the map. A beautiful double kill for the Pantheon in the jungle, putting back into this game. While we watch Beth do more cyberbullying.
Yeah, heavy. That's a heavy overstay from the side of Skana and Luna. I think, aka Seraph. I think they probably should have backed off after they pushed in that wave, but they were a little bit greedy. And then Wizard of Oz just said, "Love me a good double kill, maybe even a shutdown there." I don't think there.
I don't think so.
But still, you'll take anything as PandaCity Vipers here to try and mitigate your losses.
Oh, I've got the Scion noise on. I wondered what the hell that was. It's just Scion with the top side of the map. Harold's getting some vision in the top side. I think they might just look for these grubs though, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they 100% should go look for them. Mid lane is heavily pushed in. Top lane is going to get pushed in with Harold coming back to lane. Harold seems to be going for. Yeah, that's a clip. Okay,
It's an Eclipse or something. Yeah, I think it's Eclipse or Sundered Sky. I think it's Eclipse though.
Yeah, it is looking like Eclipse. I thought that maybe he would go for Serpent's Fang.
Fisher. They're gonna look in. The Varasol comes down. Change of from Hadland. And Killer Instinct comes in. Big Seraphine ult by Luna there, and it is looking like they might just survive this one. Scanner picks one up for himself. It's a trade of kills. Tiga on the Kaiser. Can Luna clean this one up? The flash away from Tiga. Has she got the space in? There, she doesn't, and Luna picks that one up.
Okay. A little bit dicey there for the bot lane of MonkeSports, but Luna with a really good presence of mind to wait out the Brahmi and then wait for the Kai'Sa to just jump in before using the ultimate. Very nicely played, very smart wait there. Skana, being a little bit pushed up ahead. You're ahead. You think you're kind of unbeatable, but that's not the case.
No, it definitely wasn't. As again, we see Harold heavy trading. Pantheon is currently down on this bot side, and MonkeSports did pick up the grubs. That is one of the things we did miss off here.
Mm-hmm.
But they have got the grubs now, so they'll be looking to push down these first towers very soon. The feats of strength are also should be coming online for them as well if they can get these. Harold once again proxying on this top side as Pantheon ult is in. He does pop the Dominus, but he might just have to flash over the wall here and escape.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz didn't hit him with the ultimate, but the problem is, if he lands the empowered W, just one combo can definitely be very detrimental. So smart flash by Harold, being safe there. You don't have to go for any risky plays. You're already very ahead. As we do see a teleport there from that's Raid
Yeah.
Killer, but
I'm not too sure
Raid Killer.
why.
Maybe they thought the dive was happening here because
Cliff is on this bot
it
side.
was also in the area. Yeah, but
And he is looking to go in. The Cataclysm is flashed away from by Wraith Killer, actually. Tiga gets a nice Killer Instinct away. A big Encore just lands on the Braum as they are tanking under the tower. The Braum gets into the tower range. Cliff is flashed under as well. Skarnes is going to get chunked here, but they are just going to take the Braum. Cliff sacrifices his life, gets the shutdown to Bien, and he's going to be pretty happy with that, I'd say, the Braum.
yeah, it's a shutdown. It's a shutdown for the Braum
Of all champions.
people. So
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, I think everyone but the Braum will be unhappy about that one. But as we see here, oh, Wizard of Oz getting caught.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz is getting a little bit roughed up here, but does use a nice W away. Beth is going to look for the ult down, but she looks to be caught here. The Golden Eclipse did come down, but it is a stun up by the Braum. Tiga gets that shut down. Nicely picked up there by the side of PandaCity Vipers.
Yeah, this Viper squad is well, they are 5.5k behind at 14 minutes, so a lot of quote unquote int moments need to happen from MonkeSports for them to come back
Yeah.
into this game. But this Kaisa getting kills and big shutdowns is certainly one of the ways that you can sort of ease your way into a comeback.
Yeah.
That's assuming MonkeSports give them opportunities for a comeback. But yeah, they get a couple of good summoners out from MonkeSports. They get a shutdown, but it's still a massive lead here. You don't expect MonkeSports to just throw away this early game lead, especially with how good their scaling is.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. As they are going to look in here, PVC going in. But it just looks like the chain of corruption will just stop most things. Steady Cliff also looking in here. Does have the Cataclysm Millennial. Big Glacial Fisher on one side. Big Encore on the other. They're going to look to trade back as we do focus on Cliff here. Picking up with the Wizard of Oz. Tiga is also going to fall. Some nice arrows by that Varus. Shuts here down. They are going to go forwards. Beth flashing forwards. Everyone flashing forwards. Double kill the Cliff. And that is a 4-4-0 is the only man standing is Brad in the top lane as Harold is looking for this tower.
I mean, Harold is going to get the turret. That just means Bradman might just be the fifth one, and the aces could come in. But no, Bradman is just going to ult away. Harold is like, yeah, that's not worth my time. And they're going to go for the Rift Herald. And one thing that we didn't mention is MonkeSports also got the feats of strength.
Yeah.
Going back towards that fight though, that was an insane Glacial Fissure, but that was an even better Encore. And then Cliff here singling out Wizard of Oz, not giving him an opportunity to either ult in or try to assassinate someone from the backline, because it did look a little bit dicey when the Glacial Fissure hit on the three squishies there. If the Oriana could follow up with the ultimate there immediately and the Pantheon, it could have been very dicey. So good presence of mind from Cliff to stop
Yeah.
that entry point.
I definitely would agree. I think right now, PandaCity Vipers kind of need their top laner in these fights. They need someone who can just absorb a bit of damage that isn't just the Braum. Just to give them a little bit of a stand-in to get some damage down themselves. A lot of their issue seems to have come from they lost quite a bit in the early laning phase, which is where this gold difference has appeared. They have come back into this game a little bit through getting some picks and a little bit of Monkey probably overstaying and overplaying their hands a little bit. So that is what they're going to have to look for here, PandaCity Vipers. That's where they're going to have to play around. They're going to have to hope that they can find some openings there.
Yeah, I mean it's really going to be up to Ben and Bradman to be sort of the big meatballs to help out the
It
squad,
does
but
look like they're going to
not
collapse
like
on the
that.
Scion a little bit. Cliff did use the flag and drag in, but they won't take too much as Harold gets some free time to farm up top side. In he goes. Again, Cliff just looking to steal away those camps for now. There isn't overly
Uh,
much to be fighting for at the moment. It is just the vision around Drake as Wraithkiller is looking to pick up the wave top side.
yeah, Raid Killer's picking up the wave. Just like with Harold, 2 ships in the night, but Harold is going to get engaged upon.
Yeah, they will just collapse on him. He will take the 1-for-1 though somehow. Luna does hit the big encore on the backside, but it isn't overly going to do much as she will also be caught out. Tiga going to look for the 1v1 kill. Can she get there flashing forwards? Yes, she can. The Kaiser picks that one up. Kaiser now sitting at 4 and 2. It's not particularly bad for her on that bot side. But yeah, a little bit of an overextension from Harold has cost him his life, but it's his first death, so you know what, as a top laner, I wouldn't be that displeased with that.
But I mean, well, Harold has been pushing behind turrets almost the whole game, so this is kind of expected. But Tiga landing a nice W there onto Luna and then following it up with the Kai'Sa ultimate is just very nice. However, the big problem is that for that play in the top lane, PandaCity Vipers lost a turret in the bot lane, and the gold lead has grown to 9,000 now at 19 minutes. And Jonjo, at this point, I think we have to say it's very much worrying for Vipers.
Yeah, given that
They're
the
up.
next Drake is just about to spawn, as you can see in the bottom hand corner of the screen, it's gonna be a little bit difficult now because this will be the Soul Point Drake, and they don't have much vision down here. So I think they're just going to look to farm up, try and catch Harold off on the sideline. He does slice and dice in. They're going to TP sign up as well. Harold doesn't have the flash to get out of this, does pop the Dominus. He's going to try and run his way out of here. Slice and dice it away, but it's not enough. Harold will be picked. And yeah, but it should equate for them to get the Drake on this bot side.
Yeah, send for people top lane, but the result is Drake is coming in for the side of MonkeSports, and then they can just rotate towards the Atacon because 5 people actually from PandaCity Vipers are going for this top lane tier 1 turret, which I don't think that's the best use of resources, but you take what you can get.
The big
They're
thing
gonna
is here,
start.
Ghost, is they're doing it as a team. And that's what matters. They all killed that tower.
We're, maybe the real victory is the friends we made along the way.
Definitely. As they do look to collapse onto Beth, the Unstoppable Onslaught is coming through. Beth is going to flash out just about. Killer Instinct in. Beth uses the rebuttal, but it isn't going to do enough. She will fall. And yeah, it's her life for Atacon. I'd say I'd probably take that as Monkeys. That's fine. It's slightly sad that she had to die, though, as they will look to play on the sign. The Cataclysm comes down. Another flash away. I don't think Cliff has hit many of them fully in the centre. Because they keep flashing out. They look on the Wisdom of Oz as well. A big encore again onto 2. Big Glacial Fissure takes 2 as well. They are going to flash back. Daddy Cliff is stunned up. The Braum is going forwards. Lunar is going to get hit here. Skarner is doing his best to auto. But it is a 3-4-0 on this bot side. The whole side of PVC have come down, and the PandaCity Vipers have taken 3 as Beth TP's in the top lane.
Well, that was very, very dangerous for the side of MonkeSports because, well, yes, they did. Yes, they did get the tier 2, and then they got Atacon and Soul Point. They then tried to go for a 3v5, which not a good scenario. As Harold is going to try and chase Bin, but it's a Braum. You're not gonna catch him.
Harold.
Harold's sort of wasting his spells here a little bit, and Yeah, been managing to escape at, and he deserves all the praise. After hitting an amazing glacial fissure there in the bot lane, Tiga has slowly but surely become a menace, and he, I believe, if we hover over to the gold to Jonjo,
Oh yeah, I
I
can click X.
believe
Hold on.
I believe Tiga has the most gold in the game, so this is a very, very powerful Kaisa here. And this is going to start becoming a problem for the side of Monkey Sports because they had a 9,000 gold lead. Now that gold lead has shrunk to 5.4. So, you really need to sort of get your stuff together. Try and stop the inting and just play like you did in the early game, where you outplayed your opponents by sheer laning, or just by grouping up and making better rotational plays.
Yeah, they've got to just chill it out a little bit. I think they all need to be on in the same fights, because what's happened quite a lot is they've not fought as a full group. Harold has always been pushing the side lane, and they've had to fight a 4v5 almost, as they do look to go in here. They are looking to collapse. The Braum ult, the Braum shield and ult is down, as Brian will flash over the wall, and it'll just be his flash. But they have got mid prio here. Sion will be looking to pick up bot, but it's going to be really hard to get PandaCity Vipers out of this sort of mid lane without. As in they go, the wizard is going in. They are going to use the Braum eyeing going in as well. Nice shield by him, but he is going to fall. Daddy Cliff does get the Cataclysm down, does pick up 2. That's 3. Barish is free hitting it as well. That's 3 for nothing. And there's your fight, Ghost. That's all they needed. They just needed to be on the same page for once. They finally found the targets they needed as well, as Sion is doing a lot of damage. Cliff is almost going to fall. The Unstoppable Onslaught is coming through.
Small correction. That was actually Tiga from the backside, proccing the static shiv on everyone, and just showing them what a fit Kaisa can do. But ooh, Cliff has eyes. Cliff has eyes on the Kaisa. Tiga is going to use that Empower D to go invisible and basically delete everything. But the game is over.
It pretty much is,
Jojo,
yeah. It's my client came up, but yeah, we will see the end of this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens there.
I mean, what I expect happened is Monkey Sports got soul, got an ace, and ended the game.
I'm expecting
spoiler
that as well.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
We have about 50 seconds to a minute before game's over. So, nothing too scary over here. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the final fight is. Are they just going to look on this Baron, I assume?
Maybe.
Definitely, baby. As they will look to force this. Bryn is going to get caught up a little bit. They've sent Beth to this bot side anyway. Be interesting. They're going to get the mid prio, but PandaCity Vipers can't get, like, this vision down. We do see that they are going to play around this Baron, though, Ghost. That's what it's going to be. This is the fight that will decide it.
Harold is just being a menace over here, dissuading everyone from Vipers here, making them just pull back, as they're playing it very smartly. Ooh, that's a good engage.
Yeah, they will look on Daddy Cliff, but there's not much they're able to do, and they are going to TP Beth into the mid lane. They've got the super minions. Maybe they didn't even need the Baron here. Ghost is a double encore by Luna. Picks them 1, 2 up. Harold Dominus in as well. They'll take all 3. And yeah, that will just be it. By the look of it, Change Corruption lands on the Wraith Killer. And I think, Ghost, the problem was there was so much happening in the lane. A big Glacial Fissure is across, but it's not going to do a whole lot, as it's just the Sign and the Braum up. The 2 tanks aren't going to be able to fight this off for now. But yeah, it was just, they got done too hard in lane.
100%. Some very good laning from the side of Monkey Sports, lost Stache there, as they got so far ahead in the early game, in the Indian laning phase, and then they kind of never let that lead go. Yeah, Tiga did get a lot of shutdowns, a lot of kills there, but still, Skana and Deveres ended up with more gold, more kills, and having a bigger impact there. And I want to point out, Wraith Killer on the Oriana there hit a 4-man shockwave in that mid lane fight where Monkey Sports got it together. But because this Oriana was so behind, it barely did any damage to them. And credit goes to Beth there, in my opinion, who just had an amazing game. A lot of solo kills there,
Yeah,
and just bullying Great Killer off of the lane.
yeah, I think it was sort of that mid difference that kind of happened there. The Oriana only having 5k damage in this game is extremely sad. But yeah, it's just if they can sort out their laning and get it a bit safer, they do have a chance because they were getting some nice picks. But it's just that's sort of going to be the thing whether they can or can't. If they're just going to get stomped in lane, they need to do something else. They need to try and fight a little bit differently, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. Maybe they just need a couple of more safe champions. Something that can just let them farm up until the mid game, and then just allow them to have a more explosive mid game. Where we see in the mid game, they did make some good rotations, some good plays. Granted, Monkey Sports were getting a little bit overzealous themselves, but it's not. It's not over till the fat lady sings, John Joe. It is a best of five. Monkey Sports do draw first blood in this best of five, but there's still a lot of League of Legends to play. So don't go too far, everyone. Grab a drink, stretch your legs, but don't go too far, because we'll be back with game number 2 in just a few minutes.
Yes, we will.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Ultimate Esports Division 2 Grand Finals. I'm still Deadly Ghost. I'm still joined by Sir Jonjo. And Jonjo, we just saw a bit of a slacking in game number 1 from MonkeSports Lost Stache here.
Yeah, there definitely was a bit of lane diff going on. So I hope that they're able to fix it up a little bit um for this game, PandaCity Vipers. Actually, I hope that they're able to just pull it together a little bit more, get themselves some better matchups, and then go from there. Is what I'd suggest.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, we did see a little bit of the early game going to the little bit of the mid game going towards Viper's favor, but ultimately once Monkey Sports decided to group up and fight properly in team fights, it was all over for them. We do see a swap coming in as Bin has been rotated out for Ironhide, who's going into the top lane, and Bradman has swapped to support. So this means that we might just see a couple of different picks coming in here.
Yeah, we might do. It looks pretty similar so far. The only thing that has been definitely taken out is the Mel from last game. They're also going to take out Caitlyn. I can't remember if they did that in the first game or not.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so it would just be the Mel that looks to be the difference. What have they left open? The Morgana.
Yeah, the Morgana from Beth, and well, Beth usually played at support, but you know, with the recent buffs to Morgana, she can be played mid lane as well. So I think Beth might even look to secure that one in first rotation, but you know, it can always be flexed into the bot lane as Jinx is going to get banned. So it's going to be very interesting to see what we see first picked here, and it's the blind Zeri.
The
Now
ever loving one. Yeah.
this is a little bit interesting, and you know it might just get heavily punished depending on what Monkey Sports decides to pick here. As we do see the Jays getting covered, this is something that Harold loves to play. But instead, it is going to be the Tristana, potentially to match up the Zeri here. You know, Tristana likes to go all out, go all in, burst out people. So you know, not surprised here.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'd have preferred to have seen Ash. I think Ash is quite a nice pick in the Zeri because she's quite short range, so you can really slow her down. But yeah, they've gone for a Tristana or a Mumu. Uh, an interesting 2v2 if I might say so myself. But yeah. Are we sure this is going jungle then? This and Mumu most likely.
Mm. I mean, depends on what Luna wants to play. But yeah, if this is a Mumu bot lane, it's going to be very difficult. As Sejuani gets locked in here for Wizard of Oz, which very looks to be, you know, a big beefcake to help out the Zeri on the front line and tank out quite a bit of damage. But looking at it here, I'm wondering if that Amumu is going in the support lane, because if it is support Amumu, then that could prove to be very difficult for Tiga there. However, with the lock in of the Janna, we now know that it's
Yeah, it's most likely going
Amumu.
jungle. Unless
Yeah.
there's some super odd stuff going on and Harold's going to play the Janna. But I don't think so. It'll be interesting then to see where they go. But I'm assuming they'll pick up either a melee mid or a top laner here on the side of PandaCity Vipers. Because you need that melee to go along with the Sejuani, in my opinion.
Good. Yeah. Good ban on the Lux from Wraith Killer, something that's really in his wheelhouse there. Uh, and that he loves to play. The Echo also getting taken out. Both of Wraith Killer's comfort champions being picked off here. So this just means Wraith Killer is going to have to think about something to play. And we do see the Lissandra getting banned from Beth. So maybe Wraith Killer is thinking about something like LeBlanc here.
Yeah, maybe. I'm hesitant to think they will now pick Morgana, though. I guess you could in theory, but they need some damage. Ari's not bad
That
then.
damage.
Yeah, depending with the new rod build and the differences, the different build paths on Ari, you can definitely get damage out of that champion. So it'd be interesting to see what Beth can do with it. But it looks like they'll have the counter in the mid lane. Where do they
Maybe.
go?
Ooh. Yeah, it is looking like
It's gonna be a little bonk.
wow, it's almost as if I'm an analyst and I can predict these things. It's going to be the LeBlanc for Wraith Killer. So this is a matchup that we kind of got used to seeing back in season 3, season 4. LeBlanc and Ari were sort of standard mid lane mage assassins, and there we go. The Galio last pick, so that's top lane Galio, which means
They're expecting
I
Harold to
mean,
play AP, which is quite. I think he's just gonna. You just run an AD champion here. I know. We know what Harold can play. He's certainly got stuff within his wheelhouse to do a lot of
I
things
mean,
here. It's gonna be the GP.
yeah. I was going to say he can just play Renekton again, and
Yeah.
it would be incredible. But
It looks like he doesn't
yeah,
want to play Renekton another time. It was probably quite boring last time in top lane for him because the rest of the map all seem to be doing great things, and it was just a bit of a farm fest for him up top lane. So yeah,
yeah, it is looking a little bit more interesting. As hold up, is
no, I think they're still
that looks
swapping.
yeah, that looks to be okay.
There you
There we
are.
go.
Ghost, if you were about to
Uh,
predict something, you said you were an analyst, and then I was like, maybe he's onto something.
well, to be fair, as someone who went up against PandaCity Vipers in Valence League,
Yeah.
I yeah, then so this is basically the same squad. They did do some roster swaps, especially in best of series against us. So, you know, I was sort of like, are they gonna swap their players around? Will they do it? Won't they do it? But no, it's going to be Ironhide in top lane, Bradman in support, and looking at it here again, Vipers have drafted themselves a very heavy dive comp that loves to just go in and go boom boom pow. But I mean, there's an Amumu, there's a Gangplank. You have Ari and Janna has amazing disengage here. So Vipers are gonna have the burden of execution this game.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting sort of clash of styles here, because there's there's definitely disengage on this side of Monkey, but there's there's engage with the Amumu, but it's all kind of just. I don't feel like the champions mesh overly well together on that side. But like I said, I think that's the same with the PandaCity Vipers side here. I don't particularly see each champion meshing with each other. I'll be interested to see where the Sejuani paths is what I will say. Because
Yeah, 100%.
there's I think you're gonna struggle pathing topside. Because if you look to CC Harold, he will just eat an orange. But and you're not. But that's the only real way to use Sejuani here, unless you're playing to try and pick Ari off every time. But once you get 6, it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah, I mean it is going to be quite difficult to try and gank almost anyone in the early game. Maybe the gangplank, but between the stuns and the taunts and the dashes that Sejuani and Gallia have, maybe this GP can be bullied out in the early game. But then again, Cliff can always just path towards topside and have ways to counter gank everything and provide some support for Harold. So it's going to be very difficult to basically execute as Panda City Vipers, but they did show a couple of interesting plays that they did and a couple of shutdowns that they got. So maybe they can mount a victory in game number 2. Same again with 10 seconds.
Yeah, give me a moment. I've gone over 10. Go 15. Because I've
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do 15.
yeah.
3, 2, 1.
At 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
There you are. Oh, my directed cam has gone. Okay. Who needs to be moved around?
Yeah.
No one. They're all in
If,
right places. Brilliant.
while you're fixing that, if you're just joining us, everyone, welcome to the Ultimate Esports Division 2 Grand Finals. As we
have a pause.
Yeah. Yeah. Pauses are the bane of our existence. We despise them. That's all we can say. If going back to everything, if you're just joining us, MonkeSports lost Stache took game 1 very convincingly here, and PandaCity Vipers are going to be looking to bounce back in game number 2 with same composition, different champions, but it does look like we have an interesting comp from both sides. MonkeSports going again with a comp that can play both offensively and defensively, which I very much like and respect. Gives them a little bit of versatility. They have a couple of options to how they can play. As the pause is over and Jonjo, we are back once again.
I'm trying to work my client out because my client has died. I've just got game is still in progress.
Oh, sad.
Let me see if I can exit it. There we are.
Well, while Jonjo is trying to fix everything, we while Jonjo is trying to fix everything, we do seem to be yeah.
I think I've sorted it, Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Am I at the same time?
109, 110,
yeah,
111.
I'm with you. We'll go.
Yeah, let's go. So, we had while you were gone, ladies and gentlemen, we had a standard 5-point. There was a ward in the blue side jungle that Wizard of Oz is able to clear out, as Harold is going to be getting hit with the first kill shot of the game, but Beth is also looking to play very aggressively here.
Yeah, of course, the Winds of War from Galio is quite oppressive in this early game a lot of the time. I'm assuming it looks like he'll be building full tank as well, but we'll have to see this one out. And like you said, Beth going aggressive early is nice to see. She was very aggressive last time in that early game, and that netted her a pretty big lead that she was able to really use well in the later game. So that's good to see.
Yeah, 100%. It was looking so well for Beth here, but this bot lane though for MonkeSports is struggling a little bit, but they're going to be able to farm it out safely. And you said something about Galio going full tank. You can't reliably do that because this composition outside of the LeBlanc kind of lacks a little bit of magic damage, so you really need to buy one tank item as that Galio and then go for like the Rift Maker to sort of increase your damage. As Beth Another amazing trade. Beth is just winning this 1v1 so handedly.
As you can see, the Galio does a lot of early damage.
Yeah. It's the Justice Punch. It's the Justice Punch, and I believe the passive from Galio that deals just so much damage. Let me, you know, quick cheat code and see it. Uh, Colossal Smash. There
Colossal
we go.
Smash, there you are. Harold is going to trade back with these barrels. A couple of good ones from him. I always find the barrel combos on GP a little tricky just to get down. He's one of those champions that takes a little bit of time to pick up and learn to a high standard. And Harold pilots him to a decent standard is what I'd say. He's pretty good at this champ from what I've seen.
Yeah, 100%. Gotta give props to Harold. Looking, has a gold lead here, has a CS lead, is proccing that grasp very reliably as well. So that just means this that this Gangplank is off to the races, very nicely. However, it's not the 10 CS lead we saw from last game. It is a couple of CS lead right now, but Cliff is looking for
big in by Ironhide. Flash away as well. Cliff did look in. Cliff blowing the flash. Giving Harold. Harold flashes in. Will die for the first blood. How close was that? That had to have been literal, like, below 10.
Single digit. Single digit, yeah. Single digit HP. However, Harold is going to go down and give over first blood, which I don't think MonkeSports are going to be very happy about it. However, what the person who is going to be very happy is Ironhide, who manages to get
flash forward. Good charm by Beth does keep her alive. Red Killer is actually looking for it though, and I respect that. Going for a more aggressive stance, especially after that. Wizard of Oz flashing in on the Beth. Beth flashing away, but it's not going to be enough. The Sejuani W picks her up. And there we are.
Well,
that's the aggressive stuff.
Yeah, that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Beth there. Going aggressive. Thinking you have the kill, but not having the spatial awareness of where Sejuani is. Cliff had to take a back after that botched dive into top lane. Had to take the reset, and it turns out that Wizard of Oz had a little bit of free time to do whatever he wanted on the map, and what he wanted to do is to gank the Ahri in the mid lane.
Yeah, shutting that Ahri down as much as possible before 6 is a good call here. As we do see, the PandaCity Vipers haven't given away as much in lane this game so far, which is what we needed to see. What we asked for during the break was that they didn't, and they've responded.
Even a good CS lead in the bot lane as well from Tiga, who is laning very nicely into this Tristana Nami. Janna. That's a great charm.
Yeah, that isn't it. It looks like the wizard will fall. Skarner picking that one up. But yeah, no, give Tiga their props. They had a really good last game as well, to be perfectly honest. I thought they were the highlight of the PandaCity Vipers team. So, yeah. But it does look like they'll have a good standard here to start off with as well. But it is going to be the first straight going over to MonkeSports, most likely. LeBlanc looking for a little bit. Red Killer does go in. And somehow Tiga picks up the Drake. Cliff, where is your smite button, my friend, as he goes in? Does get polymorph. It is on cooldown. My God, what was he doing? The exhaust comes down. Tiga is going to get stunned up here and hit by the charm. Bradman is also there. Cliff going under the tower. Does die for that one as well. Lulu taking that. Skarner taking a hit to tower. And the feats of strength kills has gone through to the PandaCity Vipers.
After a crazy sequence of events, Vipers get the Drake. They get a couple of kills, but somehow MonkeSports still end up with a gold lead. And yeah, this is a baffling game a little bit. A lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. Actually, it was a 2-for-1 in the extended fight for Monkey Sports. They still lose the Drake though, which is going to be very, very big for Panda City Vipers. They're going to stop this Drake stacking, especially in the mid game where they're going to have, sorry, where Monkey Sports are going to have a kind of a good spike with this Tristana and the Sari. So, very good steal there by Tiga. As we do see Luna trying to be a menace to this Lulu
Yeah,
Zeri.
Skarner is
And
going
woo,
in. They are going to look to go for Brad as well. Big Curse of the Sad Moment by Cliff. Skarner picks that one up as well with the Buster Shot. Nicely done by them. They are going to trade the Grubs for that kill on the bot side though. So, objective-wise, it's looking quite good for the Panda City Vipers.
I mean, not only is it looking good, they're one neutral objective away from having the feats secured for themselves. So it's a much better early
Yeah, it's
game.
a
Let's
much
go
better
like
early
that.
game. That's where you're going with that one. Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely
this
is, guys.
time this time last game they were like 3-4k behind. Now it's only like 1500 gold, which is it's not too bad. It's nothing to write home about, but it's not too bad. So, I think they'll take every victory they can get.
Yeah, definitely. Nice charm there, landed by Beth. She's got these charms on lock at the moment on this LeBlanc. It's just following up with this damage, which Ari... I'm interested to see where she ends up with this build, because it looks like she's going to go the Malignance one, which is okay. I don't mind it, as we do see Skarner going back in for this. They're going to look to use the GP ult down here. It comes in. Bradman is going to use the Wild Growth himself as Rocket jumping through the sky. Skarner is. Seraph is going to tank one up. Luna is just going to be able to get away here. They are TP and Ari LeBlanc down in this bot side. It looks like she's going to be picked up by LeBlanc. Yes, she will. They will trade 1-for-1 there. It was support for support.
Yeah, support for support, but a lot of TP is getting wasted there as well. Flash by Sarah, flash by Tiga, arguably, the more important flash being used by Vipers there. So, Monkey Sports are going to take that win as
And
Tiga gets jumped in on.
Yeah, Tiga has been jumped in on. Will be traded across. Nicely done by Skarner. 4-0 on this Tristana, by the way. Quietly sitting there doing a godload of work for this lineup of Monkey Esports.
So, I may have caster cursed the Vipers as, it was 12, 13, 1300 gold deficit. Now it's, over 2k. You have Harold here who is naturally going to get gold as well, and he also has a 30 CS lead over Ironhide. So it's starting to look a lot more grim for the side of Vipers.
Yeah, definitely it is. As we can have a look at those gold charts there. Almost 1,000 gold up for this Tristana over the Zeri. So that's where they do both have the item, but it is Tristana already going into that serrated Dirk, so he's going to be doing a damn load over here. Tiger could get picked up as well. Does have the barrier available. Cliff is around. Going to use Curse of the Sad Mummy onto her. The Wild Growth does come through. Lovely tornado by Luna there. Keeps Tiga at bay. They will pick her up. The Glacial Prism was used by Sejuani, but it was on the Ari, and the Ari has gotten away from that. Beth does escape just about. Some wonderful tornadoes coming through to stop most of the Panda City Vipers coming back for this fight. But yeah, another charm lance. They've also sent Galio down here. Here comes Ironhide. They're going to look to trace Beth out of this. Flash forward. Another tornado by Luna, keeping her team safe from everybody. And they will pick up another. Skarner picking up one. Going to look for more. In goes the Cannon Barrage is down as well. Harold even helping out from this top side. A lovely flash by Skarner comes through. Ironhide is going to fall on that Galio. A lovely charm landed by Beth. They're going to pick up two. Seraph picking that one up for herself. Tiga is on this top side. Cliff taking one under tower for the side of Monkey Esports. They're going to look to collapse onto Bradman and take this tower. Another one falls. Skarner just about lives. Luna tanks the tower. Everyone is falling all over the map. It was at least 4 or 5 down there for the side of PandaCity. And only 2 fall on MonkeSports.
And the 2 that fell on the side of MonkeSports were executes there, John Joe. So that just means no one dealt any damage. Wraith Killer is going to get 1,000 gold shut down here. So, at least that's going fairly okay for it. But Tiga is now here to support Wraith Killer as well. As Cliff has his shoes, his dancing shoes on, and is going to get the kill onto Wraith Killer by making him dive him. So this game blew up from a 2k gold deficit to a 4.5k gold deficit, and
it's gonna get even bigger once they look for this tower. This tower is bound to fall within the next few seconds, surely, as the Glacial Prison is coming down here. Sejuani picks that one up. They've also teleported Galio down. A nice charm and a nice ult by Luna will keep them alive. The Monsoon coming out. Pretty big there by her. They used the Galio TP, which has also allowed Harold to take a lot of this topside pressure. They will look for this Drake. But it's all going to come down to who can secure the next few objectives in terms of the feats, I believe.
Cliff has ult. Cliff has ult here.
Cliff does has ult, because the sad mummy falls Tiga, and now they are looking for him more. Wraith Killer is trying to look for the assassination onto Luna. They do pick up that Janna, but it is now Cliff is just wandering around crying on everybody and anywhere. Wraith Killer is going to tank up the Drake. Beth picks up... Oh no, Skarner picks that one up for the side of Monk Esports, and he will take the Drake. What a sequence of events goes to really burst open this game.
Cliff took the bait there with the switcheroo from the clone. However, what Wraith Killer didn't know is that he was dashing into 2 people, and Skana and Beth were right there waiting to get that kill. The Drake is going to get secured by MonkeSports, and this just means that out of what started off as a very good fight for the side of Vipers ended up in catastrophe for them. MonkeSports picked up, I don't know, like 9 kills in the span of 2 minutes. They blew open this whole gold lead, 6,000 gold, 15 minutes in. You have this Tristana, that is going for a collector of all things. You have this Gangplank who has just been silently farming and picking up assists with the ultimate, and you have the Ari just picking up plays and hitting every charm left, right, and center, while still most of the team from MonkeSports having giant CS leads.
Yeah, they're doing all right here, not too bad. I don't think there's anything to. This is a better game for PandaCity Vipers, I'd say. They've played better in this game so far in terms of how they're playing the map, but it just isn't enough.
It's they started off the game very nicely. The botch dive, the good ganks onto the bot lane and in the mid lane, but they MonkeSports came together here. They had a wonderful skirmish down in the bot lane. Harold didn't even have to join there. Just used the ultimate, and it all went sideways for the Vipers, especially those 2 executes that happened.
Yeah, it did a little bit. It just all got opened up by that bot side fight. And now it's in a pretty rough position, I'd say.
Yeah, very rough position, as Harold has 10 CS per minute. Not something that you're used to seeing from amateur tournaments, but Harold has 10 CS per minute, has taken down the first turret, is working his way through the second turret, and Well, yeah, this is what happens when you get free time with
Wraith
the
Killer
turret full.
though, looking for the solo kill on the bear. Big up
Ooh.
for them actually, because they were being absolutely messed up last game. So good on them for picking that
Yeah,
win for themselves.
yeah. Wraith Killer really said you took away my life way too many times last game. Now I'm gonna show you what I can do. Takes the victory in the 1v1 with the mage assassins, but uh, Bet doesn't have to worry too much because her death granted MonkeSports a tier 1 in the mid lane, a lot of extra pressure onto the top lane as well, as that's an engage happening, but I don't think Wizard of Oz wants to engage on Herald.
Nah, not at the moment. Harold just looking for the base. He will just be able to get himself out there. They've rotated all of the people up here, so pretty much everyone's come up except for LeBlanc. So it looks like they'll be able to pick up some pressure bot side now. Next Drake is spawning in a minute, I believe. A minute or
Even
so.
less than that. Even less than a minute. So you know, you want to look for these rakes. It's a
Chemtech, in it?
Chemtech.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Chemtech soul. So not the most rewarding of souls to get, but you still want to deny it from the enemy team.
Yeah,
And
definitely. I think I'm not a big fan of the Chemtech one. I hate that one. What do I like? I like the Cloud one. Cloud one's nice. I like the Hextech one as well.
I'm a big fan myself of of the Ocean Soul and the Mountain Soul, as we see Ironhide here having to use his flash to get away from Harold
Yeah,
because
that GP does
Gangplank.
damage.
Yeah, I mean, turns out if you give a Gangplank a free lane to farm in and he has 10 CS per minute, he's gonna do a lot as he gets collapsed on here.
Yeah, Harold's doing Harold things here. He might just get picked up on this bot side, on this top side. He is going to be able to flash away. Going to be tanking up a little bit of tower. Harold, he still has the ult available. He's going to use it. It comes down, but it is going to be too much CC for one GP to take. He will fall, but his team should be able to try at least pick up this Atacon for his death.
What's funny is that even though he died, he still managed to pick up that mid lane wave with the ultimate. So optimizing the deaths there. Oh,
Wraith Killer coming in with a wonderful steal, actually. Cliff, use your goddamn smite button. But yeah, lovely steal there. Cliff is going to go in, take down Ironhide as well. They will look to pick up one there. They are still going to look to fight. Zeri has got the wild growth in there. The big Buster Shot gets them away and tries to disengage the rest of this fight. Luna doesn't have ult. There's no ults left on the side of MonkeSports. As they do go in, Cliff gets a nice route onto the Sejuani. Wizard has gone too aggressive. They have TP'd Harold in as well. He is going to be here to give the damage. It looks like they'll be able to pick up one for themselves and two actually there as well, as Tigra is going to have to flash away.
well, first of all, that steal never should have happened.
You don't
And
say.
Clifford. Okay, I'm going to go into a VOD review with Cliff here after this series because holy, that was a smite of all time for sure. But trolling aside, well played from Raid Killer. You know, got another kill as well, stole the Atacon for his team. And you do see some semblance of what this comp likes to do as for the PandaCity Vipers, as Tiga, managed to go win alt and have a significant impact in the team fight. However, the problem is this Gangplank deals a lot of damage. This Tristana already has 3 items and is online, and while Bet might be having a bad game, just being able to hit a charm, hitting people with the malignance and being a nuisance is still quite enough
Yeah,
for the Ardy to do in this game.
she's got a part to play in this game. Definitely. A lot of the early kills have also helped Skarner on this Tristana, because they've been doing a lot of work on this bot side as well. But he's going to get CC'd up by this Galio, who opted actually for the Frozen Fist. And they will look to pick Beth up again. The Glacial Prison lands and she will die.
Yeah, but that's quite a lot of things used just to get the 1 in 5 Ari, previously 1 in 4, and they're going to lose a turret for that, maybe even a second one if Tristana has the E here to just use. And Wizard of Oz is trying to come in here,
they're gonna look
but
aggressive. Galio's gonna come down the hero's entrance. They're gonna pick that one up. Curse the Sad Mummy onto the Galio though. They are gonna pick him up as well. Wild Growth is being used. Skarner is going forward, so there's a lot of damage coming through from the Tristana. That's a double kill. The rocket jump. Cliff is a little bit on his own here, as Skarner did disengage this one, but Cliff going back in, landing bandage toss off the bandage toss. He's going to go under the tower. Might almost fall, but look at that Tristana DPS. While Harold just farms towers.
Yeah, Harold is playing PvE as he just managed to Flame Horizon Ironhide here after, giving him First Blood. And, well, while Clifford may not be able to hit smites, he can certainly hit those bandage tosses. I haven't seen him miss one whole game long.
Yeah, that has been going all right for him as they will use the rocket jump to disengage this fight. They're going to look a little bit here. The Glacial Prison is almost up. They might actually look to go aggressive here. There is going to miss there. A nice dodge by... Was it Beth? Was it directed? Someone dodged it.
Yeah. Yeah, Beth used the ult to dodge there. But still, a very nice... Yeah, Spirit Rush. An 11,000 gold lead now. And, well, MonkeSports are going to be smacking them with their wallets.
It is going to look a bit like that. Harold has 3 items to Galio's 1. Cliff has the 2 to Sejuani's 1. LeBlanc does have the advantage over Beth in terms of items. But it's like almost 4 items on this Tristana, the 2 items on Zeri as well. So it's this top and bot difference that's really made the impact for MonkeSports this game.
I want you to press X and try not to scream when you look at the top lane gold difference.
Gangplank's a city champion in the town server. That's 12k, but it's 13 now. But yeah, Gangplank's one of those champions. I don't understand how he generates more gold. It's something to do with his passive, I think. He just generates more gold.
No. Yeah, it's the Q. It's the Q passive. When Gangplank kills minions, units, champions with his Q, he gains Silver Serpents for his passive and also bonus gold.
And that's how. Because the Sad Mummy is on a 3, Cliff is bandage tossing himself all over the place. That Mummy is really good at using it, as he might just fall here. Cliff getting the fancy feet on, but does fall. Harold is still pushing, still farming. Is that GP?
Well, they used almost everything to get Cliff and lost an inhibitor for it, so
yeah.
Win.
Win. Oh, come on. Cliff dying is a sad thing. I'd be sad.
I mean, he's already playing Amumu, so if he's crying a little bit, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
It's just his champion. But look at that DPS coming through from Harold. Level 16 on this Gangplank. Wraithkiller has gone in just randomly. Has paid the price for it as the LeBlanc falls. Yeah, she probably wasn't expecting that GP damage either. And then checked the gold in the scoreboard and said, oh yeah, I've just seen that.
Yay. Randomly goes in as LeBlanc gets one shot by, the unseen Gangplank is the deadliest or something. That's how the saying goes, right?
Definitely. Gangplank. The thing is with LeBlanc, you either at this point you either one shot or get one shot now if you're going into that GP.
Yeah, Harold has now become most of the gold lead as he is up 7,000 gold on this Galio.
Yeah, as the Baron will be started, Harold is still playing towards this bot side. He does have TP if things go wrong. They are going to try and kill... yeah, I don't think they want to start this Baron because we know what Cliff's Smite Finger is like as the hero's entrance is used Ironhide also getting a bit caught up now after that one. The Buster Shot does get him out of that. The Wild Growth was used. And as they go forward, a rocket jump forwards, the Spirit Rush forwards. Harold's coming in from behind. They're looking for all of this. This could be game 2 for the side of MonkeSports. They want to finish this now as Harold is looking to hit those barrels. But there is a lot. The Zeri just about doing enough to dissuade them. But they don't even need the Baron, I think. They will just look to finish this here.
No, they really don't need any of the neutral objectives. They can just go in, push in, and end the game like that.
And
as Tiga is going to get eliminated himself, and Bradman is going to get killed.
Harold almost got him, but
And
yeah. That is the ace.
well, that's game number 2 here for the side of MonkeSports, going up 2-0, and so I rarely see this big of a gold lead in one lane, but Harold doubled Ironhide's gold.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. I will agree with that.
That is incredible. That is incredible. That is incredible. So, yeah, 2-0 for MonkeSports, lost Stache over PandaCity Vipers, and this just means that the Vipers are going to have to mount a reverse sweep if they want to take the title in the Ultimate Esports Division 2. But yeah, this started out very nice for PandaCity Vipers. They had a much easier game than game number 1 in the early game, but then it just exploded in the mid game.
Yeah, there was just that fight down bot, which I think they got caught up on. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for MonkeSports here.
Yeah.
I think we just head to another quick break.
Yeah, we are going to be sending it to another very short break, but don't go too far because game number 3 is coming up very shortly.
See you in a few.
Hello and welcome everybody to Ultimate Esports Division 2 Grand Finals. I'm still Deadly Ghost. I'm still joined by Sir John Joe, and we are sort of we're getting ready to get into game number 3 here after MonkeSports took a commanding win in game number 2 as well as game number 1. They are up 2-0, looking to make it a clean sweep here in game number 3 as PandaCity Vipers are swapping sides over for this game number 3. Maybe that'll give them the drafting edge here. But, Sir John Joe, based on what we've seen so far, do you share my opinion that it's going to be a 3-0?
Um, well, Ghost, we've gradually seen PandaCity Vipers get better throughout this series. So maybe this is the one where they actually put it all together, play their lanes well, play the rest of the game well, and win a game here. Yes, I'll be honest, I am expecting the 3-0 here, but I think for all it goes along, and if PandaCity Vipers can improve on their last performance, just like they improved on in the first game, we could be set up for something here. You know, I'm overly positive about this, so that's how I'll see it.
Yeah. You know what? Let's give the Vipers the benefit of the doubt.
Definitely.
Maybe they'll come up with a good comp and just take the victory.
I think laning wise, they did all right this game. Although, like you said, Harold played very heavily for his lane with the GP. I thought they actually did all right. As it will be the Jinx pick up here.
Yeah, Vipers have opted to sort of take out the Caitlyn ban for the Tristana ban here, which gave open Jinx for the MonkeSports squad here, and we see the Talia being answered here. Now this could be a flex for the Talia, but I'm mostly expecting it to go towards a Raid Killer, as we see Rek'Sai here getting picked. Not something that we're too used to seeing. And Cliff is hovering over this Diana.
Master Yi game.
That's a shout out to me from Cliff. I'm very happy with it. He could probably play it, and he's going to go for the Wukong. So
Cliff is playing his namesake. He is a bit of a monkey on the Rift, and he will be playing the monkey today. And he's also playing Morgana.
And he's also playing for MonkeSports.
Yeah, so it kind of goes all hand in hand as there is a Malphite lock-in. But I do agree with you. The Rek'Sai is an interesting choice. I've not seen the Void Queen for a while, actually. Hasn't been seeing as much play after her original... she started off 2024 really strong, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it'll be...
100%.
It's interesting.
100%. Ooh, GP getting banned out. They don't want to see Harold on his gangplank here. If they're smart, they're probably going to ban out the Jace here, sort of limit what blind picks Harold can go for.
I don't think Harold will be interested in the Jace though, because Jace versus Malphite, I'm pretty sure is a big counter to the Jace. I believe so. So I think Malphite actually counters Jace really hard. So I think they are just going to nail down the AP options they can take out.
I mean, they took out Gangplank, which is also another AD option. But
Malphite is kind of a free lane, is what I'd say. Jace actually has to play a little bit.
What if Harold just stoops all of us and just takes this Morgana top lane?
I don't think Beth would allow that. Somehow.
No, probably not. But anything's possible. And it's not only that Morgana is Beth's
Mm-hmm.
favorite champion. But Morgana actually works surprisingly well against the Talia. You can always have first push, and if you want to roam as a Talia, you're gonna have to give up waves because Morgana can just put 3 points in W,
Yeah.
press W on the wave, and then just run around the map doing God knows what. So
Now, Ghost, I am
no.
quite interested because for
Hmm.
some reason they've left their AD carry till last pick. I think Harold's taken the Silas end of, by the way, here.
Could be.
It's a great counter into
Uh,
Malphite, and yeah,
yeah.
that is what you'd have wanted. It's an AP pick. I didn't know Harold had it in him to play it. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting. I don't know why PandaCity Vipers have decided they're going to save that AD carry pick till last. Unless this is
Unless
it's a Vayne angle, but I don't think it is here. I wouldn't say
unless
so.
unless it's a
Oh
ooh.
yes, sick. We get a Malphite
So I
Yasuo.
was so I was about to say, what if this is a Talia bot lane and we're looking for a counter pick in mid lane, but Vipers are just giving us something completely out of the blue with the Yasuo here, and it looks like,
What you reckon? It's a
well,
Yasuo
TB.
mid.
No, see, I thought that it would be Talia bot lane, and maybe a different mid laner, would come up, but I think Tiga being a mid laner can probably pilot this Yasuo fairly okay. It is going to be a difficult task, but you know,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
I,
it's not.
I honestly like what they've drafted. I think
Mm-hmm.
Harold's got a really good counter pick in this lane. Um, I'd be interested to see what the Rek'Sai does in this game. But I
You're kind of forced to play for bot lane.
yeah
You can't really do anything top lane because
yeah, it's a bit of a
Silas
deadline
is the
deadline.
yeah Silas is the natural counter to Malphite.
Yeah, I like I said, I didn't
Yeah,
know Harold played it, but there we are.
yeah.
I'm. I think you've got to play to get this Yasuo ahead, though. That is where you've got to play for.
Or you leave him to get to the 0-10 power spike and then just
Could do.
watch him take over the game.
Yeah, definitely you could do. It'll well, yeah, watch him get to 0-10 and then take over. You're exactly right, I
Yeah,
reckon. That's the classic ones, isn't it?
hell yeah. Looking at it here, I think Cliff has a much clearer path. He's gonna probably start in this red side.
Mm.
I mean, if I were him, I would be starting in my red side, pathing towards this top lane because you want to get this Silas head. If this Silas can even get one kill onto this Malphite, the lane is going to be basically over. And if Silas can take away, the unstoppable force from the Malphite, that
Hmm.
just means you're TPing bot lane here as Herald, and you're engaging onto this bot
Yeah,
lane, and not giving them any opportunity to try to go for some wombo combos with this Yasuo.
definitely. I think you're spot on there, actually, Ghost. I'd be slightly interested as to what Beth's game plan will be for this game. I haven't seen much more Morgana mid, so yeah, I'm quite interested by that pick. See how she actually plays this lane. Because she plays most of her lanes really aggressively. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't call Morgana overly aggressive champion. So I am a bit interested to see how she actually plays this matchup.
So from what I'm seeing here, Talia is extremely long range. So Beth as Morgana is really going to have to go into this Talia if she wants to get if she wants to get some efficient trades off.
Hmm.
However, what I think that Beth is going to do is probably going to try to go for the power farm into roams and just try to create pressure on the map and create a numbers advantage, especially I'm looking at this bot lane because that black shield is going to be saving Skana from quite a lot of knockups here that they have for the
Ooh.
side of Vipers.
Oh no, you are right. There is a
As
switch.
as
It will be
as
Tiga on the
that's
Talia.
yeah, it's Tiga on the Talia in the mid lane, and the Raid Killer is going to be piloting the Yasuo in the bot lane. Um,
Well, that's what we assume. We'll have to see.
yes, yes. As the
They have to all go in side.
we've gone Grasp as Yasuo here.
Which is an interesting setup.
Yes, it's unless Raid Killer is going top lane to match this Silas, this Keystone is going to have absolutely negative value.
Yeah, I'm slightly confused. I will reorder people once I know where they're going.
Yeah. Well, in my experience of playing versus Vipers, Raid Killer was never in the bot lane, so I'm just going to assume that this is Tiga in the bot lane with this Thalia,
Mm-hmm.
and Yasuo in the mid lane.
It looks to be correct. But why would you go Grasp?
I think for a lane, especially like this, where Morgana can push it in very early, you probably want to go for the fleet footwork and just try and survive the early game. And also, we've gone for the Doran's Blade here, which is another very aggressive choice as Raid Killer here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've got to be honest. It's quite an interesting pickup considering he did opt for the. He did go do all right on the Blanc in that second game, so maybe he's up to something in this game as well. Maybe he knows something that I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. As we're seeing a lot of trading here happening. By the way, we did not sync up, but are you at 214, 215, 216?
No, give me 2 seconds. Or do you want to pause? Do you want to do it that way?
Let's pause at 230 then.
All right. We completely forgot to sync up. I can sync up at 2:30 with you. But
Yeah.
I was quite interested by the rooms. That's why I was taken aback actually.
Yeah, I'm at 230.
Yeah, I'll pause.
Okay, so
3, 2, 1, go.
let's go. Ironhide has used his flash in the top lane as Harold is trading very aggressively there. And you ask me about aggressive trading here from Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Morgana into a melee matchup, that's going to be certainly very aggressive. As Seraph here,
aggressive onto Seraph Tiga and Bradman actually picking up the first blood of the game. I wasn't expecting it. But the Ignite did a lot of work there, and Luna got totally chunked on that Melio.
yeah, this Melio, while is very powerful in the later stages of the game, in the early game is not really the menace that we expect him to be. Disrupting everything, healing his whole team. So, Vipers here definitely using the early power of that rel with the level 2 to just take over, and with that ignite deny the healing from Luna there.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I was going to say, guys, I would have thought Harold would have actually gone for a Conqueror setup on this Silas, but he's gone Grasp, which is I found a little odd, but.
No, that's good.
Is it? I'll tell you word for it. It's a flash in by the Wisdom Bars. Seraph actually flashing out as well. Luna does get out on the Melio Jinx. Flashed as well. So 2 flashes both on this bot side for just Wizards here. As it looks like Skana will be rooted up again. Those Talia are landing and she's doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, Tiga out here playing it very nicely as Raid Killer. Ooh, you're getting ganked here by Cliff. However, he does have Raid Killer does have the wave here to evade Cliff's gank, but it's still Raid Killer getting chunked out and allowing Bet to just safely farm in this lane and not have a care in this world. And Cliff also using the opportunity that was given to him by Wizard of Oz ganking bot lane to double crab uh, here and have a massive advantage
Yeah.
in early game tempo and
Ooh.
pressure, as we do see.
We do see an issue. It was probably big, like I said, that double scuttle ghost was Cliff was just being a bit of a cheeky monkey. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, they do take out that pause. I don't know what the real issue was, but who cares? As we will just get the little bit of lag coming through.
Harold jumped into five, jumped into like a slew of minions. And is this a spectator bug or is this
It is a
something else?
spectator
Oh
bug.
no.
It's the one after the pause. It always happens. I wouldn't worry.
We yeah, I've had my fair share of those when we played, but yeah, I Harold here going into
He is
17
flashing
minion.
in.
Oh,
Does pick up the solo kill just about. Knowing his limits on this champion. I wasn't expecting it, but he's done very well there. As Wraithkiller does go aggressive with the Yasuo. Oh, Cliff is here to protect Beth here. And Harold has taken the Rek'Sai ult. I'm not overly too sure if he's going to be able to get it off. And he doesn't. Harold does fall with the Wizard of Oz. And a
he
solo kill
almost
in mid lane as well.
for Wraith Killer. So this just means that Vipers are off to the races here. Harold was being a little bit conservative with the ultimate from the Rek'Sai, using the Q there for the extra chains, but I really think he should have used it to try and get the Kingslayer back up, because yeah, Wizard of Oz manages to take him down, and now we have a little bit of a little bit of an uneven state for the side of MonkeSports there, because while Harold is very much ahead, you have Wraithkiller with the solo bolo in the mid lane, and Tiga with the kill in the bot lane, and who's also going to catch a massive wave here and is going to be ahead in both NCS and in gold.
Yeah, they will be. A lot could come down to how Harold plays this then, depending on how the rest of this early game kind of goes as they transition after the 10-minute mark. But it's going to be I think it's going to be interesting to see what impact Harold can have, because realistically he's got the lead for Monkey at the moment, and this is where they'll need to play around.
Yeah, Cliff is going to have to go to try and play again for this Silas,
Yeah.
and Rek'Sai is going to be taking this first Drake. You know, Wizard of Oz has secured this first Drake, but look at what Cliff is doing. Cliff has realized that they have the advantage in the bot lane, and he knows where Wizard of Oz is going to try to be. So he's just stealing as many camps as possible, and it's working out very well for Cliff here, because Wizard of Oz is still level 5, 8 minutes into the game. As oh, that's the dive.
A little bit careful as the Malphite ult comes down the trade onto Cliff. Does come across. Harold is under the towers. We see a fight on this bot side. So is going to be flashed on there. They fall. Tiga also fall. Harold is getting chunked on his top side. Can he get the Kingslayer through? He does, just about. Trading 1-for-1 with his jungler there. And we do see Stache trying to fire back, as it is Luna who fell again on that melee. Harold is once more probably going to be picked up by this Rek'Sai here as the knockup comes through. Wizard of Oz takes that for himself. And
yeah,
yes,
but
he's a very good early game Ghost.
Yeah, but the big problem is there that while yes, Ironhide managed to get the kill onto Cliff, he is still losing a massive wave there,
Yeah.
and yeah, Wizard of Oz manages to save it, but it's really difficult as that binding into Morgana W just
Does damage,
it deals
yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah, Beth did use the ult there. The Soul Shackles, there we go.
the soul shackles, yeah. But the problem is, ooh, -1 in the chat. Uh, the problem is that this bot lane here from Skana and Seraph is not having a very good time, as this Thalia is just taking over this bot lane, dealing so much damage and getting further and further ahead. And if this bot lane continues to do this for the side of Vipers, that could be their avenue to get extremely ahead, and they could be the ones to contest Harold, who is already on
See, all
a
of that
good path.
damage coming across from Talia. I do agree with you
Yeah,
guys, actually. Yeah, it is going to be a game of. I think,
Harold versus Tiga. Yeah.
yeah, if they can get. To be honest, Harold versus quite a few of them at the moment. Wizard is looking quite strong. Wraith Killer is also up in his mid lane. Harold is going to go in. Uses the size. Oh, he does have the Rek'Sai out now. Will he be able to use that? The Kingslate is doing an awful lot of healing. But there's also Rek'Sai hitting from the Conqueror. Harold is going in. Does take a look at takes down Einhide. Lovely trade. 1-2. Wukong comes through. Cliff is there for the support, but Harold, a big 2v1 turnaround at the start with Cliff just coming in for support.
Yeah, Cliff being there for the counter gank and giving Wizard of Oz the 1-2 buckle my shoe with
Definitely.
with the Cyclone there denying anything that this Rek'Sai wants to do here, and Harold using the ultimate
They
very
will
effectively.
come
Ooh,
down. Big Relo and big last breath by Yasuo is going to pick up. They're going to try kills across onto the Jinx. It is only Melio's picking up that. Beth is flashing in with the Soul Shackles. Uses the root and will take down Tiga as well. Beth's now got a kill on the board for herself, as Harold is once again trading very aggressively on Ironhide, utilising that counter pick that he has picked himself. He will be going the Rod of Ages build, which has been slightly nerfed for this patch, so it's a bit of a shame. I really kind of wish he'd have gone a little bit more heavy AP, but it is what it is.
give that minion a raise for blocking the Morgana Q there for Wraith Killer, but ooh, Ironhide just getting dove here, as Cliff with a much more successful dive the second time, and even gets a little bit of plating for himself. So good guy Harold sharing his gold with Cliff here,
Yeah.
and what and this is starting to become a major problem here, because not only is this Malphite not going to be able to fight this Silas, as we do see Skana getting picked off
Yeah,
again.
I'm going to look for the dive here. The rail does tank it up. The ignite is down. Rek'Sai is going under the tower. Wizard of Oz comes in. They're going to pick up one. Bradman is trying to escape from the backside. Cyclone is coming down for Cliff. Cliff should take this one. Emilio's gone forward. Does flash away. Cliff is going to pick up rail for himself. Lovely horse lady for the monkey. And that is just going to be it for now. But it's so unfortunate that Skana has been picked up in every fight before they can get kills down on the board for the Jinx resets.
Yeah, if all Jinx needs is one to get excited one time, and once the reset starts coming in, then that just means it's go time here. But it's sort of never happening here, as Beth is getting. Ooh.
Comes in. There's the combo, Ghost. That is what we were going to expect.
Yeah.
Another thing is, by the way, Ghost, we are going to see a full AP Malphite by the look of it.
Yeah, it's looking like some Storm Surge Malphite is coming our way, which, well, you're sort of behind. You're kind of gonna have to do whatever you need to sort of be effective. But
He's just going to be
we do see, we do see Skana actually taking a good trade there.
Another
as
flash
Sarah
forward by Bradman. Going to pick up Luna here. Most likely she does fall. They have TP'd Harold down for this fight. Does have the Relo. Not the only greatest ult I'd say to chase, but they are going to look for it. In he goes. Going to use the Magnet Storm as she goes in. They're going to pick up Bradman on this side. Jinx ult should do enough, as it was just 2 away. The other 2 do escape from Harold's grasp, but it's enough, I'd have said.
Yeah, it's very nice pickup from Cliff here, as Harold also goes in here and Cliff and Harold here are just taking over and fighting everyone. As Kana is very low, but he's not going to fall down. Harold takes over, and sorry, Jonjo, I took your job a
You're
little
all
bit. I had
good,
to play by
dude.
play, but that was a great sequence of plays there from Harold and Cliff there, and they're also going to be almost taking down the turret on the bot side, but the TP there coming in
Totally,
from
yeah.
Tiga is going to dissuade everyone.
They are going to look. The wall comes through. Tiga is in that backside. Can she find Skarner? I don't think she can. Natalia is going to fall without Skarner dying. The Jinx lives. Just this once, the Jinx lives.
Well, there's a first time for everything, and
Definitely.
certainly Skana deserved to live once after getting cyberbullied so many times.
Yeah, it is. They were trying to overextend on that play. To be perfectly honest, the Weaver's Wall did come through, and it felt a little bit almost as though trying to rescue something. I'd have said. I don't think they needed to go for it, Tiga. There.
Yeah. Uh, and what I love there from MonkeSports is that they immediately went into saving Private Jinx. We saw three different shields going in on Skana Cliff, and Skana just
Now,
fighting Tiga there.
this could be a big fight as we do see the Unstoppable Force is available. Yasuo using that last breath as well to get in bed. He's going to get stunned up here. The Unstoppable Force is also on Luna on this backside. They could pick up 1-2 kills for themselves here, but they won't use the Rek'Sai ult to go any further. It is just the two. Harold is in the area as well. He is quite strong. Going to use the Malphite ult. Going to look for it maybe. The Unstoppable Force himself. Just to disengage, just get on the rail here. Bradman's going to get tanked up here, stunned as well as Harold goes in under tower. But the Rek'Sai knockup is going to do work as they go in more. The healings come through for the Kingslayer, but it is enough to trade kills. Cliff picks one up on Yasuo, but the Silas does fall. They're not going to look for much else as we do see a 1v1 in this bot side between Jinx and Tiga.
Yeah, and now because this Jinx has managed to get a couple of kills, a couple of assists there. Even though Yuntal have not been completed, it's still Jinx, so she still does quite a bit of damage there. Okay, Tiga, okay, Tiga.
The rocket though. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Jinx picking one up for herself out of a fight that didn't look like it was actually going to last in her getting an actual kill there. So Scanner's going to be pretty happy with that, I'd say.
100% in Skana getting on the board. The first kill for him in this game, but that has to be a feels good moment for him, especially after having a very bad early game here.
Yeah,
As Harold is going to find Bradman.
Yeah, Harold is in a 3v2 situation down here as he does have Scanner for support, but I'd still be a little bit wary of the Yasuo Rek'Sai combo. They're very much in this game, these two.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to come down to this Yasuo and this Talia doing a lot of damage while being helped out by the Rek'Sai and the Rel being sort of the front line for them.
In from Beth. They do get the root down. She does get the field down as well, but Harold can't get onto the Talia. Tiga is going to escape on this backside of the fight, and it is just going to be a couple of ults used. Just the ult from Morgana used, and Harold is going to steal the Magnet Storm.
Yeah, Harold steals a Magnet Storm. Possibly thought that maybe he could, bring back
Tiga. They
Tiga
might
into.
actually dive this here. Cliff uses the Herald. They are going to tank up Wraith Killer a little bit. They are just going to get this tower for now, I think.
Yeah, I think they just want to push their advantage, because they started off a couple of minutes ago with a 1,500 gold deficit, and now they've gone over to a little bit of a gold lead. That's a good buffer from Cliff.
Yeah, the Cyclone was used, nicely done there. They aren't going to be able to pick up the rail. The Magnet Storm is still available for Harold. I don't know if it is the greatest ult you can actually choose here. I'd still always choose the Malphite ult if you can, but I think it's better than probably better than the Talero. As Wizard of Oz is going to come up backside, going to look for more. Nice Magnet Storm actually is used by Harold, and it will protect Luna on the back of the fight. Harold is in the front side, taking them as much as possible. Rek'Sai does use the ult herself, coming in with a Void Rush, picking up more, but Scanner is now on the board. That's a double kill for the Jinx, as she is going to get those resets. Luna is giving her the shields, as they are going to try and chase down Tiga here. Nice footwork by that Talia, and it will just be a 2-4-1. It is only Harold that falls. And yeah, getting that Jinx on the board is what you need right now. So I'm going to look for a little bit more. Unstoppable Force is used. Daddy Cliff goes forward. That's a 3-man knocker. Tiga picking one up for themselves. It is actually Ironhide who picks it up. But it's a nice combo there.
Yeah, that's a very good disengage there. However, a very good sequence of plays there from MonkeSports. You know, taking the turret into the bot lane, pushing out a lot of these waves, and getting some of these kills. You know, especially that bot lane play where yes, Harold sacrificed his life, but it was so that Skana could get a couple of kills and get massively on the board. You know, it's so. This Jinx is very, very close to this Infinity Edge. Harold already has 2.5 items here, so
ooh. Malphite. Oh, that Malphite is full AP, my friend, so he will pop like a balloon. Harold picks that one up for himself. Now sitting on 2 items, just waiting a couple more minutes for that Rod 2 charge up, and he will be very far ahead in this game.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it here, you know, it is a lot of the gold lead here for MonkeSports is just on Harold. In fact, he is, you know, most of the gold lead, and
they are gonna
engage.
Wizard of Oz is gonna go in for the Skarner there, but the Jinx will escape. They did use the Magnet Storm, and I think it was just the Rail Magnet Storm for it, so it's not too bad. And it was a Jinx. Jinx somehow gets out. I don't actually know how. She didn't even flash. So it is what it is.
Luna used her ultimate, but that was also Rek'Sai flash as well for the engage. So yeah, a couple of summoners and one ultimate, not too bad. And Cliff has managed to flash in place once again. Yeah.
It's his old man fingers these days. He must be heading towards 40, the poor sod. I've got to be honest, it ain't looking good for him. We probably don't have much long left with him.
Yeah, his toddler is probably pressing the D key on his, the F key on his keyboard, as there's a trade of flashes here, Harold's for Ironhides, but I would say Harold's flash is much more important in this game, especially.
Definitely. Harold is bloodthirsty, which I can admire. And he has created a pretty big lead for himself. A big unstoppable fuss, though, by Ironhide. Doesn't need that flash. We'll pick up 2. Daddy Cliff also going to fall on this backside. They're going to TP Yasuo a couple of meters as the Weaver's Wall is used. Morgana using the Black Shield onto Scanner. A good use there by Beth. And they should be able to protect this mid lane tower as Harold is TPing in.
Yeah, the TP coming in from Harold, and just Beth being able to clear out these waves is so powerful for the side of MonkeSports, with very good catch, punishing the overzealousness there of Cliff and of Luna there. They tried to push in their vision line, but they didn't have the proper support, and you know. Vipers realize that.
If Harold can get an unstoppable onslaught, they're looking to pick him up before the Magnet Storm has used everything down. Harold gets 1 onto Wraith Killer, gets 2. He's looking for even more here. Can they? Kingslayer do his work? It looks like people will just shut him down, and they does fall. Atakan is still alive and available to take off this fight. They are going to look for an extended play here. There's no ultimates left on the side of PandaCity. Vipers. Skana is going to free here. That Jinx is going to ramp up and do damage as they look for a double kill. This is going to be the Atakan over, and this could be the swing that MonkeSports were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Vipers tried to start off the Atakan, but then Harold showed up and said, "Oh no, you don't." And well, Harold did sacrifice himself, but it was to get 4 kills. So that just means that the Atakan goes to the side of MonkeSports.
Yeah.
And they have a 5,000 gold lead now. So this gold lead started out with in Viper's favor after that incredible early game, but when the mid game came in, when once Harold got his first item and started roaming around, everything changed here, and I have to give credit for credit's due as well. Clifford here has built up a nice lead for himself. Uh, 40 and 44 CS about in math, that's 11 camps, so that's a massive gold lead as well as we
Yeah,
see
it
Harold.
is. It's a 1v1 between him and Wraith Killer, but it's not doesn't look overly great for Wraith Killer here. He is 2 levels down here
No,
after picking that one up. That's a freebie given away by the Yasuo. And this is where things are going to get interesting, because the Baron is going to be spawning in 3 seconds. Nash is up, as it is Luna who's going to get caught out here, stunned up. The Storm Surge does work for Malphite there as well. And it looks like that he's still holding on to his ultimate as well. So we're going to have to wait for this next sort of fight, as they're going to look to catch Harold here. He's going to get done by the Unstoppable Force. Harold is going to get caught out there. We're seen on Vision on that top side, looks like. And this is where PandaCity Vipers can really look to try and force a play.
another unforced error there. Wizard of Oz using the senses here from the Rek'Sai very nicely, getting that bit of extra vision here and scouting out where some of these members from MonkeSports are going to be. But yeah, another over push by Harold, another aggressive pathing, and that red side of the jungle for MonkeSports has been really, really, really deadly. I think the only thing they need to do is just get vision around Baron, not try to push in way too far into Viper's territory, because Vipers are not that far behind. You still have this Yasuo who is farming up a storm, and the small fight with the Seeker's arm guard now is still going to be useful if he manages to get off the ultimate. And there's always the threat of the Talia, who is almost at death cap.
Yeah, there definitely is. And like you said, Ghost, I will just comment on it's something actually that got picked up a couple of times. Harold was being actually picked up on a few times inside lanes in the past few games. Actually, I think it's just a top lane thing, because the amount of times I've seen a top laner get ahead and then get picked off in the side lane is insane. Like, I even do it myself, so I know what that's like. You're trying to make an impact, and I can get within there, but it's just about you need to do that sort of stuff at the right time. But yeah, in terms of the actual rest of this game, if PandaCity Vipers can land a big Unstoppable Force plus the last breath from Yasuo before Harold is able to land his own, hijack one of their ultimates and use it on them, I think that is where this key is going to come, as Ironhide is having a flash wave. Harold is very strong in this. Luna is going to get chunked. Tiga doing a boatload of damage, as it's actually Scott who's flashing forward looking for it. The Jigsaw comes down, dominating. Harold's using 3 on the top side. Is this just going to be the open here? They're going to look just a few random picks, and it's sort of blown open here.
I mean, this is what happens when Tiga uses almost all of his abilities to try and catch the support. Luna's just going to use her ultimate to get out, and that just means Kana gets to free fire as... Oh, that's a nice ult from Harold.
Yeah, but I think it's not going to be enough. He trades 1 for 1 somehow. Almost takes out Ironhide as well. Lovely play by the Silas almost there. But yeah, it just buys his team a lot of time. They're looking at this bot lane tower now. It's going to be right. It's going to be whoever can start this Baron and get that sorted, I think, is where we're going to go with this game now.
Yeah, they're pushing out this bot lane once again. They want to get as much pressure as needed. And another smart thing that they did is the top side has been open. The top side inhibitor has been opened, but it hasn't been taken. Mm-hmm. They don't want to give Vipers extra money to farm out and all that. So a smart decision from the side of MonkeSports as well. As well, Harold did go down. He is now at he's now at 5 items, and already has already has a a Kindle gem bot, so already working towards his sixth item, and this Silas is becoming a bigger and bigger menace.
It is PandaCity Vipers who have actually set up on this objective first, which could be a good sign for them. If they can get a pick here, I think they are in a bit of luck. But they are going to go forward. Betty's going to use the Soul Shackles on the Malphite. He doesn't have the flash. Going to use the Unstoppable Force on the 3. But no one is there for the follow-up, and he does die. Ironhide does fall. Harold is on this backside, just making sure they aren't going to look for any more, as it is just Cliff stunned up there. But yeah, this strike is now going to go over, even though PandaCity Vipers had all the initial vision.
Yeah, I mean MonkeSports just walk in, take a massive
He's going to go
fight
forward.
win.
He's going to get a little bit caught out. Just use the Cyclone to go onto Wizard. He's going to look even more aggressively. In he goes. They are going to pick a 1, 2. And Tiger is going to go 4 here. Here's the Jinx. The Jinx resets are coming in. 1, 2, 3. Nice win wall by Yasuo will keep him alive. Skarner has arrived. Finally, 30 minutes in. That Jinx is ready to fight.
And this just could be the game here for MonkeSports if they keep pushing in like this. As guys, you don't have a wave here. Waves are somehow the biggest enemy for this MonkeSports squad. As they take out the mid lane inhibitor, maybe they could have taken out the top lane inhibitor as well. As Harold misses the dash over the wall, and that could prove to be detrimental for him. But it doesn't matter because Vipers are not in a position to catch him out. Maybe if Ironhide had ultimate, then they could have caught that Harold, but this just means that Harold gets to go away scot-free. And, MonkeSports are back in their comfort zone of a 10,000 gold lead by 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the Baron is going to be the next big fight. That is where this is going to end. I can see the end game already, Ghost. So, it is going to be on this Baron Nashor. Who can hit that? It is going to, interestingly, be PandaCity Vipers who have started it. Harold is on a reset. We'll have the TP out. I don't know if MonkeSports actually have the vision to know this has been started. So they're going to be a little bit delayed.
They probably know. Yeah, they probably knew, but they got kind of caught sleeping there because they were all on resets here.
Yeah,
so
they have TP'd Beth in, but there's nothing there, guys. You're too late. And
way too late.
Yeah, they were way too late. They should have seen this coming, but I don't think they got any blue wards up, which is probably why. It's an interesting. It's a very good decision by PVC to actually take that Baron. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, Vipers were definitely definitely quick on the catch, and you think that because you don't have a standard AD carry as Vipers, you're not going to deal that much damage, but you have a Talia and
still burns,
Yasuo that just deals so much damage here. But it is just going to be a big gold lead.
Yeah, they are going to look to push this in. It's going to be difficult against these Baron minions. It looks like PandaCity Vipers are actually going to try and chase here. The Weaver's Wall is used. Going to catch out Beth almost. Going to use that spell shield to a good degree. Look at the burn damage. Beth taking out Bradman with that Morgana. Beautiful play there. And look at Skarner. He's just going to pick up 1, 2. Again, that Jinx. Harold has also taken spot lane inhibitor. How has it turned around so quickly for the Monkeys? They've done absolute work here. That's a triple kill for Skarner. And Harold is still here, chilling with the Malphite. Oh, Daddy Cliff is under the tower. Even the Malphite can't take down the Jinx. They're going to look to give the Quadra over to the Jinx. That's an ace for the Monkeys. And they will take this 3-0. PandaCity Vipers putting up their best fight yet. But it wasn't enough. And the Monkeys go on to take this 3-0, Ghost.
It was close in kills, but it wasn't close in anything else. And MonkeSports just take over in this game. They take the win. They're going to close out the series 3-0, and it was in a dominating fashion here, John Joe. I think It was really, really well played from them, and yeah, congratulations to MonkeSports, lost Stache here. But I do want to give a little bit of praise towards PandaCity Vipers. They didn't just fall over and lose like they did in game number one. Game number two and game number three they fought hard, but in the end it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I thought Panda City Vipers actually improved game after game. So I think, if this was a best of seven, they might have been able to take at least one game off finally. But yeah, it isn't, and they just didn't do enough at the time. But massive congratulations to Monkey Esports, the Ultimate Esports Div 2 champions now. So I think they'll be pretty happy
Yeah,
with that after a pretty good performance by them.
yeah. What wonderful performance, and we do have an interview with the squad here. So uh we're going to be coming in here as the squad is coming in, and I believe that's everyone. So congratulations, Lost Ash, on a well-deserved 3-0. How are you guys feeling?
I enjoyed it. Oh, it was fun.
All in a
I
day's
got-
work.
Yeah,
Doing the day's work, yeah.
it was. We
Yeah, I
were
mean,
like.
it was a fun series.
Yeah, it was a fun series. I certainly got to play the game in third game.
No, it was a good series to watch. To be perfectly honest, I thought they were. I thought you've got to give congratulations to Panda City Vipers, as I thought they improved game after game. But you guys really held it on your own there, and you really had really good laning phases most of the time coming out of it, which is where I think you built a lot of your leads, and then you sort of snowballed that from there, which I found really well played on that aspect.
Yeah, I think the biggest aspect was probably the commitment to like it was how much they committed to the sides at points,
Yeah,
which really kind of put them behind.
yeah, it
in
did.
my opinion.
It definitely did free up certain objectives, but Ghost, did you have any questions for our interviewers then?
Well, I have two questions. Starting off with two. First things first. Cliff, do you know what Smite the Summoner spell does?
I plead the fifth, and
We don't have the
Also-
fifth here, Clifford.
we. I mean, this is true. Honestly, fuck jungle.
Listen, as someone who has to play jungle for you, I agree.
In fairness to Cliff, he came in as a favor to me, and I don't think we could have asked for
Yeah.
anything
yeah,
better.
No, it's a couple of unfortunate smites there with Wraith Killer reaping the rewards. The other
Bro, but that's
question I
TS
have,
gap in game 3 though.
yeah. My other question is, speaking of CS gaps, Harold, were you just like, I'm going to stay top lane and just use my ultimate wherever needed?
I mean, yeah. What's what like? What am I supposed to do? Roam? Like, have you seen who I'm playing with? Like, do I need to like roam? Is it necessary? Like, I can just be there.
No, not really.
You
Uh,
were,
um,
you were definitely doing the epitome of a top lane performance, is what I'd say. There were
Massive.
there were slight times where you did get caught off in the side lanes, which I was like, yeah, that's a top laner thing. But no, in honesty, it was a pretty good performance at laning phase and later on for you, actually, I'd say. So super congrats for that.
Also, massive props because you doubled Ironhide's gold in game number 2.
I mean, that's just GP passive. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it's GP into Galio as well. Like, what's Galio supposed to do in that matchup apart from stare at him angrily?
I mean, he did get
What?
some decent trades in, but like then the champions just so scales. If
Yeah,
he doesn't have the goal to back up any like
it's just an
forward going, it's kind of just impossible.
it's just an unfortunate matchup. It's kind of what happened in game 1 versus the Oriana with the Mel. It's like it's just a really unfortunate matchup. There's really not much you can do in that lane.
What do you mean unfortunate? We saw some cyberbullying acts being committed in game number 1 in mid lane.
I mean, that's just Mel in a nutshell, though, isn't it? She has a laning phase,
True.
and that's about it.
True. I have a little bit of a question for the bot lane now. In this game number 3, we saw Tiga, who is primarily a mid laner, play the Talia. So was it difficult to play against Talia in bot lane, assuming you haven't played against this matchup virtually at all?
For me personally, it was really frustrating actually, because as someone who doesn't play against Talia, I just don't understand her hitboxes on the knock, which was, I think, quite often able to be seen with how much I got caught up in it.
In all fairness, I don't know about the laning phase, but in the late game, she actually had some really good Weaver's Walls. It's just unfortunate the team's so far behind they couldn't actually capitalize on them.
Yeah, there was that because Luna, you did get caught a couple of times actually on the Melio into that, especially with the Talia up there. But the thing is, she blew a lot of the spells onto you, and which meant she was free to pick up for most of the other teams. So you did your job as Melio as a tank.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask these guys. The philosophy I came into this series with was, if I'm on engage, we fucked up draft somewhere horribly, because not only my off roll, but my best supports are enchanters.
No,
but apparently,
the Janna was really good.
Apparently, Melio's a tank. Who'd have thunk? I was laughing for the entirety of that game, even coming out of lane phase, just because it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, we still outscale. I have a jinx. My sole job is keep her alive, and if you're blowing everything on me, I'd say I'm doing that job properly.
Definitely.
Yeah. That was kind of my job as well, like as Morgana mid, and my job is to really just facilitate the jinx as well.
Although you don't realise how much damage that Morgana mid actually does.
It does. People underestimate it.
Definitely.
People do underestimate it, but yeah.
I mean,
Go on.
let's be a little bit honest. It was slacking all three games. But yeah, congratulations once again. Do you now feel different being champions, or was it just, like you said in the beginning, another day in the office and nothing's changed?
I mean, Kobe had 3 rings. I have 2, so there's one more to
Is
catch.
that what's next, Harold? Are we hinting at something?
Oh, I'm going again. These guys know it. Like the team's disbanding, but I'm going again. The job's not done.
Got me and Cliff to face next time though, instead of play
Oh,
with.
it's gonna be a fucking free win then. Cliff keeps smiting or using summoner spells as he used this fucking game.
I got to flash on the spot twice in this
Yeah.
series. And not get punished for it.
Honestly, what was it I said to you, Cliff? My
jungler's an
jungler's
old
a
man.
fucking grandpa.
Yeah.
The first one was picked up on stream. I'm not too sure if the second one was.
The second one was game 3.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I noticed the second one as he used it, and it was in Raptor Camp.
Yeah, and I was walking past him at the same time, and I was like, my jungler is just a grandfather. What can you do?
I was about to say, you'd think he was the oldest on the team.
We've got grandma and grandpa in mid and jungle.
Before we let you go and celebrate, guys, is there anyone you would like to shout out? Any last messages you want to send out? All of that jazz.
To be honest, I want to shout out all our opponents. Like it was a fun season. I really enjoyed it all.
I want to
You
shout
have
out
to-
Tom for letting me play.
And yeah, also can we
I want to shout
out
out Tom to just setting everything up, the way he does everything. He's still been very active in the background, even though he's not been playing.
Yeah, Tom, and I also give a little shout out to Carrick as well for playing with us for the first half of the season as well.
Or well, for us, the majority of the season because we didn't really get to play much, sadly.
Yeah.
Playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, we played what 4 games in playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the span of 3 series, we played 4 games.
Yeah.
2 series we played 4 games.
Yeah, but
Because
technically
one of
3 series.
yeah, I guess it was 3 because one of them was an FF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What can you do?
Uh,
Well, four
I
four
mean-
games, four victories, undefeated in playoffs.
Well, we're
Undefeated regular
undefeated.
split as well.
We've
Yeah,
Undefeated split.
undefeated overall.
Entire split.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I came onto this team as a coach. I never anticipated playing, but here we are. I have nothing but good things to
Yeah,
say about everybody on the roster.
that's a lie.
Everybody did their
That's a
best
lie.
and pulled it
I'm
out.
on the roster.
I literally
trying
called
to-
you a
she's-
bot in game 3, so.
My turn to plead the fifth.
She's trying. She's trying to be nice, Harold. Let
Yeah,
her be nice.
what's the point? Like, everybody's leaving anyway. I'm gonna have to rebuild the team again.
Under a different org, no less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically 2 titles with 2 different orgs for me now, so.
Well,
gotta get a third with a different one, keep the fucking team going.
Well,
on
thank you
that,
both for the stream.
yeah, on that happy note, I think unless Jonjo has anything else, I
don't
believe
think I do.
that- I believe that's all we have for today for you folks. It was short and sweet, but it was a very quick 3-0. Congratulations once again to MonkeSports Lost Stache for the 3-0. Commiserations to PandaCity Vipers. I've been Deadly Ghost. With me has been Sir Jonjo, and we'll see you next time on Celestial Esports
Have a
Twitch
wonderful
channel.
Yeah, night, everyone.
night.
Good night.
Bye.